Okay, welcome back. So this is going to be the final part on this Model D app, and really this is just going to be sort of mopping up any of the bits I've not covered in all the other videos. So there's a couple of bits over on this side. Obviously we've got a master tune. Okay, should you need to tune it or tune this to something else. We've also got a glide dial down here. So glide portamento is basically the same sort of thing. So if we turn that up, now at the moment it's not having any effect because we have to turn it on with this rocker switch down here. So if we turn that on, okay, the notes will glide into each other. And the amount of glide will be dependent on where that rocker switch is set. If we just go into the settings as well, we can have kind of key behavior. At the moment I've got it, that was on legato, so key trigger. Okay, so that's not really going to have as much effect. Okay, now so what happens when you got it on re-trigger is it will only do the glide when you take your finger off the key. So if I hold down a key here, go between the two, you've actually got to physically take your fingers off to get the glide effect, because otherwise it kind of turns, well, you do get a bit of the glide effect, but it's not that smooth glide. Okay, it's going to sound like that because it will re-trigger it. So if we go into legato, it will kind of move slowly and smoothly between the two. If we take the glide off and just have a listen to those two settings, so on re-trigger, okay, what will happen is it's kind of like a more staccato kind of way between the notes. If we go on legato, it's more of a smooth. You can, if you hold one key down and go to the next one, it will kind of smoothly blend to that rather than in re-trigger. So you can see it's more kind of choppy. We've also, which is great, we can have it as polyphonic, which you couldn't do on the original one. So I think it's 4-note polyphony, I think. But anyway, you can turn it into a polyphonic synth. So while we're on the these settings, obviously we covered in a previous video the triangle or the square for the LFO waveform. We've got a contour shape, which I think is the amp envelope, which you can have classic or clean, which is going to make very kind of subtle differences. We've got some modulation settings here, so you can change the range of your pitch bend. Velocity, if you've got a velocity sensitive keyboard, or actually on here, if I turn that on, because we can do it off here, if we do loudness, okay, because this will pick it up as velocity sensitive on the iPad, so you can have that velocity mapped obviously to your percentage, and that can go to the filter, the oscillator, or the loudness. If we put it on the oscillator, see what happens. So the harder you press, okay, the higher the pitch is going to go. Let's turn that off, and we can do aftertouch as well. Again, if you've got a keyboard with aftertouch, it will work on that. But if I do it on here, it's basically where you slide your finger up. Okay, so if we put that onto the filter, you can kind of open and close up the filter with aftertouch just by kind of rubbing your finger. Pretty cool. And then there's kind of a percentage. Oops, go away. So you've got to type it in there. Setting for your mod wheel. Configuration is just kind of some stuff. If you want to have it running as background audio, you can choose to have that, I think, on or off. Looper, I think, will give you a, what's the looper beep? Not tried that yet. I'm guessing that's going to give you like a metronome for the looper. Yeah, that's going to give you a metronome for the looper, should you so desire to have that. Go back into the settings. And then it's also got Ableton Link, which is quite a cool feature if you're using this with Ableton Live. We've got a MIDI setting, so you've got your inputs and your outputs where you can set your channels and choose your MIDI controllers if you're using them, and your inputs and outputs. You can load and save CC maps as well, or you can load from presets. What have we got on presets? Is there anything in here? I think that's probably if you've saved one. Oh, no, it's not. It's no. So, sorry, what it means is on that, you can actually save your MIDI CC maps per preset. So if you're using, certain preset with certain mapping on a keyboard, and then you load the next one with different mapping, if you activate that, it will load the different CC mapping into that, which is quite useful. Map CCs is dead easy. If you want to map your MIDI CC things, you just go into this mode, you click on the one that you're going to do and turn the dial on your MIDI controller. You can see that's all my mapping that I've got on there. So that's dead easy to use on the MIDI stuff. Sorry, let's go back. So I think that's covered all of that. Share is where you can just share your stuff and documents and sounds. You've got a user manual, which is actually quite useful, so you can read through all that, and then you've got a little bit that tells you all about it. And I think that's pretty much it. Up on the top row, obviously we've got this. We can scroll through different patches here. So if I choose that one, okay, so you can just scroll through, or you can press the things there. We've got save there, so we can save that preset under a different name. If we press and hold on that, hopefully we get a few more options. No, come on. Let's try it with the other hand. There we go. So yeah, that gives you an option there. You can save your preset. You can initialize the preset, which we've done in previous videos, or you can create a new bank. So if you make some changes, it will save it, and it will ask you where you want to save it. It will obviously overwrite that, and you can then create a new bank and save it into the bank as well. We've got a share function from here as well. Usual kind of iPad options where you can share it to Google Drives and Messenger and so forth. So we've got an undo button, which is actually very useful, because if you've made a load of changes and you think, bloody hell, how do I get out of that? You've got the undo button. Like I say, the play button kind of zooms in. We've got tempo here, where you can tap tempo and put your tempo in. And then there is the store where you can buy presets and so on. One thing I've not tried it with actually on the MIDI is on any kind of MIDI clock kind of stuff. So I'm not sure actually if you can map your tempo for it to take MIDI clock in, so you could like synchronize your delay and so on up to external MIDI gear. If anybody knows about that, then stick that in the comments, because that's about the only thing I've not worked out on this. So that's it. Hopefully throughout all these videos, that basically tells you everything you need to know how to use this app. I personally think it's an absolutely brilliant app. It kind of it feels like I've kind of got a bit of a Moog thing in my studio now, and I'm going to be using this, I think, in quite a few tracks, because it does sound really, really good. And at about, I don't know, what's a Model D going for now, about 650 times more expensive than buying this app. So, what's not to like? Okay, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this series. If you've got any suggestions actually for any future videos or series as you would like me to do, then stick those in the comments below, and obviously any questions and comments, put them in the usual place. Like, subscribe, and share the videos around. Check my music out on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Beatport, and all the usual places. And I'll see you in whatever video I do next. Thanks for watching. Bye.